Hi everybody, Dr. Nigro here with the new Chem Calcs. I just wanted to talk today a little bit about how to solve percent composition problems. All right, I have a couple different types here. I'm going to go through each one of them for you. First, to start, we need to remember what is meant by percent composition. Remember, a percentage of anything is the part divided by the whole. When it comes to chemistry, percent composition tends to be the percentage of an element within a compound, and to calculate that, we take the mass of that element and we divide that by the mass of the whole, which in this case will be the molecule or formula unit. Oh, I can't spell today. And then we multiply that division by 100%. All right, keep in mind that that mass of the element is going to come off the periodic table, and the mass of the molecule will either be given or you may have to calculate it using the molar mass and that periodic table. All right, one thing to keep in mind when we work these problems, you can use tables as a way to keep track of what you're doing. So for example, let's say we have a problem that looks at the compound of magnesium fluoride, which is MgF2. I could set up a table, and that table would have the compound itself, MgF2, and the two pieces. Oops, sorry about that. That should not be a G. That should be a 2. Magnesium and fluorine. And then from there, I can look at two different aspects of that compound. I can look at the mass, or I can look at it in terms of percentages. And these tables just help you keep track of what information you have and what information you do not have, which keeps you from using the incorrect numbers when you do your calculations. All right, so let's move down to problem number 1. So problem number 1 reads, what is the percent of magnesium in magnesium chloride if 21.8 grams of magnesium is in 85.5 grams of magnesium chloride? All right, so we have two numbers. Remember, we got to note our numbers. 21.8 grams of magnesium, 85.5 grams of magnesium chloride. All right, the question is, what is the percentage of magnesium within that compound? So if I were to set up a table, and again, this is not for everyone. I like to do it to start because it keeps things organized for me, and I'm big on organization. All right, I have mass values here. Let me put in my table. All right, I know for magnesium chloride, I have 85.5 grams, and I have 21.8 grams of the magnesium. I don't know anything about the percentages of the two elements, but I do know that magnesium chloride, the compound, will always be 100%. All right, so I need to use the mass of the whole, which is magnesium chloride, and the mass of the part, which is magnesium, to find that percentage. All right, so our percent of magnesium is going to be equal to our mass of magnesium, which is 21.8 grams, divided by the mass of the whole compound, which is 85.5 grams, and then I'll be multiplying that by 100%. All right, so if I get out my calculator, I say 21.8 divided by 85.5, and then I multiply that by 100, and I find that my percentage of magnesium within this compound is 25.50%. All right, so again, we're using the part over whole formula to solve this problem. All right, I can put that in my table if I want, 25.50%. All right, next it says how many grams of chlorine must be in this sample. All right, so this is a little bit different than before. Instead of asking for a percentage, it wants us to find this number in our table right here. All right, now, according to the law of conservation of mass, I know that the sum of the parts has to equal the whole. So in other words, the mass of the magnesium plus the mass of the chlorine has to equal the mass of that compound, MgCl2. All right, well, if I look at my table, I actually already have two of these numbers. I know the mass of the magnesium, is 21.8 grams. I don't know the mass of the chlorine. There's my unknown. And I know the mass of the compound is 85.5 grams. So I can just plug in these values and solve for the mass of the chlorine. It's going to be equal to 85.5 minus that mass of the magnesium at 21.8. And I find that the mass of the chlorine in this sample is 63.7 grams. All right.